Welcome everyone to the L7C podcast, Pop Culture Edition. Today we are going to be talking a little Met Gala that happened about a week ago now at this time. So we are with the pop culture expert of the L7C podcast, Chelsea Heppard. How are you doing today, ma'am?
Good. How are you?
I am doing well, thank you. So, like I said in the opening, we are going to be talking about the Met Gala and Chelsea, a lot of people actually don't even know what the Met Gala is. So, what is actually the Met Gala?
If you don't know what the Met Gala is, you've been living under a rock. Um, but now it's one of like fashion's biggest nights out, but it also doubles as a fundraiser for the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costume Institute. Um, and it's been around since 1948, so forever, approximately. Um, but it's truly one of the biggest like who's who of the year. Anyone from singers to sports ball players to politicians. If you're on the it list, you get invited, and the it list is controlled by Miss Anna Wintour, um, the queen of the world, approximately speaking.
What's her real title?
She's the editor in chief of Vogue.
Okay.
She's also the person that Miranda Priestley, aka, oh my God, I was on a roll and now her name's escaping me, Meryl Streep, played.
Okay. Okay. I think one of the biggest things too, like I think people know now recently about the fashion aspect of it, but I honestly do think a lot of people had no idea this was actually a fundraiser.
Oh, yeah. Like, you can't just buy a ticket and show up. It's like a vetted process, but you still have to pay for your ticket. And tickets are like 75 grand, maybe. And that's not including like any donations that you make. That's not including any fees that you make towards like your um, fashion and your jewelry and your hair and your makeup. But it truly is one of the biggest fundraisers. And each year there's a theme that you have to dress up to. And one of the biggest critiques of the Met, besides like the wealth and the just general the Hunger Games esque vibes that you get, is the fact that people don't dress to theme.
Mhm. Now, I would also say with this Met Gala, like you've already said, like now the tickets just keep rising because, like you said, in 2024, it was like 75K. In 2023, it was 50K. So it just keeps going up and up. And I would also say in the 2020s, to a lot of people's chagrin, now social media influencers are getting seats at these things.
Yes. And there's good and bad when it comes to that aspect. So I guess the like one of the social media influencers who people did not agree with getting an invite would be James Charles, who is currently in a lot of controversy. Um, and James attended a few years ago, and it was met with a lot of backlash because it was very much like the difference between celebrity versus influencer. And we've talked about that on the pod many
Mhm.
times because there's like different classifications. But then you've got someone like Emma Chamberlain who has kind of superseded her influencer status and into a celebrity businesswoman type who's interviewing celebrities on the carpet in addition to attending the Met.
I know, kind of crazy on that thing. So, what's your what's your favorite part about the Met Gala?
Um, Truly, like the fashion is really cool. It's fun to see like your favorite celebrities get dressed up and attend something that, yes, they wear red carpet looks, but this is kind of like their chance to let it be creative or be different than what you're used to seeing. But then I also really love the drama that sometimes comes out of the Met Gala too, because there's always drama with that much money and that much celebrity in a building. Oh,
So obviously, because you're the pop culture expert for the podcast, you love this stuff, you live, breathe it. But for a lot of, there's a good portion of people who wonder why should normal people even care about the Met Gala at all? And the reason I'm saying that too is because from probably since 2016, 2020 on, these celebrities and people who go to these stuff have been in extreme fire from the normal population because now people see it as, oh, it's elitist going to something saying we're better than you, blah, blah, blah. And then they give political speeches during this stuff. And then Ricky Gervais, who's the one who literally crucified the celebrities when he hosted the Oscars, like, hey, don't come up here and doing that stuff because it doesn't get anywhere because y'all don't even practice what you preach. So I feel like a lot of normal people have turned like they don't care about this anymore because they just feel like it's an elitist event. What are your thoughts on that?
mm, I go back and forth because, like, truly, the level of money is astounding that is like put behind that event. And I'm not just talking like the donations, it's the event itself. Like, you're looking at the coordination of hundreds of people, thousands upon thousands of dollars in food and decor and labor. So you really have to kind of do a cost analysis in terms of the fundraising aspect. You know what I mean? Like, every event, no matter the type, you got to be cognizant of that. And clearly, like, the Met is bringing in that revenue to justify the means. I think what people have kind of lost is the fact that it is a fundraiser for the Institute of Art, and without the arts, there's not there's nothing. So you're supporting artists, you're supporting history, you're supporting culture, and in that same vein, with like the culture, it's not just glitzy and glamour. It's looking at our past, our future, and who we kind of are as a society. Um, I think there's definitely Hunger Games vibes of, yes, we are elitist and yes, there's money, but like anything that's a gala is going to cost you money. Like, even when we were in our sorority fraternity days, we've attended galas and it is very much like you have to be invited to it or pay money to have a ticket and get dressed up and like bid on these auction items and this, that, and the other thing. Like, when you're thinking of fundraising, like, there's money attached.
Agreed. And I agree with that. And then with, again, going back to the first thing, a lot of people don't know this is the stuff for the arts and all that fundraising. Now, the pushback from the other side to challenge you is that that's great that it's helping the arts because, yeah, we agree it should be helping the arts, but then why isn't there a Met Gala level thing for homelessness? A lot of these people live in California, in Los Angeles. And they visit a lot. 99% of these people have other houses in Los Angeles and they work there and they see the homelessness in the streets of LA all the time. And they're not really doing much on a public scale about it like they do for the Met Gala. So just like from that pushback, why isn't there like a Met Gala version for homelessness? Why isn't there like a Met Gala version talking about yourself for like maybe like women's rights or domestic
Mhm.
violence or like for children for human trafficking? Because
Right.
obviously now the notion now is that the jokes are anyone who attends the Met Gala or any of this stuff, how many people are these people on Epstein's list? So like
Right.
how come there's not Met if they could do this for that, how come there's not Met Galas for like other big issues?
Oh, yeah. There's kind of a lot to unpack with that. I guess from a societal standpoint, art is sexy. Like it's a fun topic. People, it's relatively safe. Yes, it can be controversial, but everyone kind of can wrap their heads around something pretty or unique or cool to look at. So, in comparison to a topic such as homelessness, like that isn't societally like acceptable. People don't want to talk about it. They don't want to acknowledge that they might have friends or family members who've experienced homelessness. So they're not so quick to champion it in the sense of the media. That's not to say that there isn't fundraising and galas happening. It's just not on the level of the Met in terms of star studded support and attention. Like you do have the artists and the celebrity who donate to various different causes. Um, and it's kind of a catch 22 in terms of like, yeah, like you want to hear about the celebrities donating their money, but then it's like people call them out and it's like, did you really only donate that to have a good public image? So they're kind of damned if they do, damned if they don't in that sense. Like if I had money, I would absolutely be donating it, but it would determine like I wouldn't necessarily want it in the media because I'm not doing it for attention. I'm doing it because I've got the resources to like support these people.
Yeah, because I think we're at the day and age now that like a lot of celebrities, if you're not, because it's because most of the celebrities, I don't want to say most, but it's just been statistically these past couple who are outward about politics,
Mm-hmm.
lean more towards the liberal side, and that is actually hurt the race in those regards because it's like, all right, you're just an elitist telling us what to do. You're not really showing that you do that stuff. So I feel like that's what they do think it because now any of these things become politicized, like
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, oh, look at all these elite liberals who are telling you to do this and that and saying
Right.
if you do this, you'll have more money, but they're I mean, just throw a name out there is wearing a an outfit that they'll only wear this one time in their entire life. And
Right.
that's more than the average American salary. And they're telling you you should do X, Y, and Z when they're doing that. Like, I feel like, I mean, maybe because from just I don't want to say competitive, another standpoint is just like if a side wants to win like elections, so they're gonna have to like change that image because that's what people have in their head about actors now, and not even celebrities in general.
Mm-hmm. Which is so interesting because if you look at it from that standpoint, like think about all the new artists who've attended the Met in recent years, like
Hmm.
Doechii and a few other people. And it's like, that's kind of their I made it. Like, I've made my mark in history. I'm going to be able to make music or make my art and my craft and support myself. So it's one of those like, you want to support those artists who finally hit that mark. But then you look at other artists like, or celebrities, and you're like, why are you still attending this? Like a Katy Perry or a Jennifer Lopez type of a person, you know?
Hmm. Yeah, I think they could push back. I mean, you could push back and change the narrative on that. I think another thing that's been on a different side of this is, which we talked a little bit about earlier. I don't know how I feel about like I'm probably never going to watch or anything of like the Met Gala and all that stuff. Like I'll see things on social media and if there's people actually like follow or support for their artistry or sports or whatnot, I'm like, oh, that's nice, but then keep it moving. But for the people who work hard and had to grind to get there, I don't like the social media influencers being there. I'm not even gonna lie. I really don't.
Oh, yeah.
Like I think from like a musician and an athlete and the theater people who were grinding their whole life to
Mm-hmm.
get to this point, but then some of them get passed up because no, we've talked about her a lot, but like if Haley Welch just gets famous for Hawk Tuah and then she's getting invited to the gala, and someone who's been busting their butt does not like that. That does because that's what's hot right now. That doesn't sit right.
Right. I and to use that example, I think there's certain influencers who've kind of surpassed their influencer status, and but keep in mind they can go back into that immediately. So like James Charles is a perfect example of he did pass that status at one point, but now he's back in it just because his image is truthfully so bad, and he's dealt with controversy after controversy, and he was never able to get truly into that certain level. Like, yes, the makeup has been successful, and yes, like there's been partnerships with like Kylie Jenner and other people, but it wasn't enough to really carry James over the edge.
Yeah.
But like,
Go ahead.
um, if Addison Rae, for example, has definitely overcome that TikTok influencer level at this point in her career of becoming like a musician and going to Coachella and performing several times and like truly getting accepted and welcomed into the music community of like hyper pop and EDM and like that type of stuff.
Right. Right. I agree. It's one of those things that will never be accessible to a normal
Oh no.
a normal person, which obviously that already puts people off in the wrong way. I think they could do something in the future to bridge that gap between, because at the end of the day, I mean, people are people, but obviously there's different statuses, but maybe they have a different, like you obviously have the Met Gala, but then maybe each person, celebrity, whoever shows up there, they're sponsoring like a normal person who gets to come, or they have like a normal version of the like the famous people make a normal Met Gala for like normal people to highlight. I think this would help them in the long run too, like having a Met Gala to highlight nurses and teachers and firefighters, like the people who other sides of the political scale saying that these elitists abandon. I think that'd be cool, like putting on a gala for those people and getting them nice outfits and honoring them. What are your thoughts on that?
Mm. Mm.
Because they do not they don't get that's the problem. Like the real heroes of they're not really getting like publicly like praised by these people who go there. The people who go there only typically for a lot of people they only typically talk about these people. It's like, oh my gosh, a story went viral on TikTok, so now I'm interested and now I want to help. But if the story didn't go viral, you wouldn't have helped.
Yeah.
And that's becoming a huge problem.
I Here's my thing. Like, there's still other galas and causes that get support, not enough. That's not the thing. I just with this particular thing, it's in its own class. Like because of the exposure, because of the attendees and because of the wealth and truly like the fashion of it all.
Hmm.
Like yes, it's very let them eat cake, elitist, whatever, but at the end of the day, like it's their money and they're donating it. So I don't know. It's one of those things like I like it just because I care about like the fashion and I think it's cool to see the pictures and the moments. But I also know that there's other aspects and other points of support.
Because that thing particularly right there, the fashion can either be the reason you like it or the reason it turns you off.
Right.
Because like me personally, I'm just seeing it's like, oh, they're wearing. If I'm seeing someone who's wearing something that costs more than me and my closest friends' houses all put together, it's gonna be like, all right, that's nice. Then
Hmm.
keep it moving. You from a standpoint of like a fan, like, oh, that looks so cool. It's like that and that's a cool thing. Maybe one day, who knows? Maybe I can get a cheaper version of it. Things like that. I think it's like right now. I think these big celebrity gatherings and all that stuff. They gotta tweak it a little bit that it's more like that the normal person understands
Yeah.
or can get behind and wants to support.
Yeah. No, I
So
agree.
that's just what on that thing. On the other note of the Met Gala go back, because I'm pretty sure we'll hit those things again. Who would you want to go with to the Met Gala for the event? Like, who's some individuals you would want to go with? Who you think you would have fun with? Who's a group of people you would want to go to the Met Gala with? If you've ever thought of this.
Rihanna.
Okay, first let's re-clarify. People you actually like know and hang. Let's not. We're trying to make this realistic.
Oh, I was going celebrity because I would go with Rihanna.
Well, she wouldn't go. You. She already has right now a forever date.
Yeah.
Because if it's not gonna, and if her and her ASAP break up, she already has a forever date and her kids.
Okay. Well, I could be adopted.
We're trying to be realistic here,
Like if I don't, I guess my friends,
but
I don't,
you're not gonna just take every friend. Like, if you could go, like which friends would you want to? Like, you know what? You just stumbled across, I don't know, 6 tickets to the gala or 1 ticket each year for the next 6 years. Like, who would you want to take? And who would you like?
Mhm.
Because I guess it's one of those things like who you're going to feel comfortable being there because you know no one at that gala is going to speak to you.
Oh
So,
no,
so who
they
could you
won't even
feel
know that I
comfortable?
exist.
Exactly. So who could you feel comfortable like being there with and having a good time?
Probably Kiana.
Okay.
Like number one, she appreciates the fashion. Um, Number two, she appreciates like the celebrity of it all. So I feel like it would be entertaining. And we could just sit there and judge everyone and it'll be fun.
Okay.
But like if I had the opportunity to go, like and actually go, and let's say like it was like celebrity sponsored or whatever,
hmm
Rihanna or Zendaya or Gaga, like those guys, like those three, they
Okay.
absolutely crush it no matter what the theme is. And you can love the look or hate the look, but they're going to be on theme and they're going to be creative with it. And I just feel like they would be nice people and wouldn't make me feel super awkward.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You wouldn't take your best friends up there?
Mm, well, one of them was question. She was in the same boat of like, why do we even care about this? Like, I don't understand the theme. Blah 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 blah. So like, I wouldn't take her.
But it could be a good way to show her why it's not all the devil work. Devil work is not that bad.
Ooh, you know who else would be fun? Sandra Bullock or Mindy Kaling or anyone from Ocean's 8, because then we could rob it.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but I feel like the amount one, I feel like the security level there is probably higher than most type things. So
Oh, for sure. Like it's almost like what's that? Where like the last the last elected official or whatever stays on like a bunker.
the designated survivor.
Yeah, that. It's almost like that with like that level of security and that many measures, except there's no last living celebrity.
So some of your friends, Kiana, anyone else, any other people you would take, your mom and any coworkers, anything.
My mom would absolutely hate it. She does not want the attention on her.
That's fair.
Um, I don't think any of my coworkers would go. I also don't think I would want them to go because I feel like if I'm at the Met surrounded by like all of the people that I idolize, I would be like up to shenanigans. And I don't want my coworkers to see that or hear that or witness me stalking Rihanna or Lana Del Rey.
See, some people could have taken that a lot of different ways because you could have set it up to shenanigans. You basically, some people could have seen that as, oh, if you were there with your coworkers and you saw people you idolize, you'd be fake towards your coworkers and just leave them be.
Oh,
Because
no. I'm not going to take a coworker I don't like and be fake. I just don't want them seeing me like hide in the bushes trying to get people's autograph.
I honestly think you would instantly be removed if you did that.
Well, yeah, I
Look,
would hope so.
you got to remember, if you're going there, you're just as important as them. You got to act normal.
Mm, and that is why I could never go.
If you had a choice, what would you want to wear to the event? Not theme included. So like this year or a couple years past, like what's something you would want to wear to the Met Gala?
um, Not including the theme, I guess like a really pretty, cool dress. I don't necessarily have a favorite designer unless you count like the Gap, or
Yeah.
Abercrombie, but like that's not Versace or Ralph Lauren or anyone. But it would be cool to work with like a stylist, like Va Roche or somebody like that, and just have them pick out clothes that they think would work with me or my body type or the style and the theme. Like it could be really cool.
Okay. Okay. All right. Any other questions, comments you want to bring up about the gala?
Um, there's good and there's bad looks, but it's always entertaining just to see. And it's one of the first signs of spring because it always happens in May and it's always fun. It's the Kentucky Derby and then the Met, two very iconic and very lucrative events.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Anything
Mhm.
else?
No, I love
Well,
fashion.
great way to end it. And with that being said, thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. Just a little quick thing. When the Met Gala first started, the ticket price was $85
Mhm.
back in 1973. $85. A normal person can go into that. And then you see the jumps to 100, 150, 500 to all the way now that we're at
75,000.
75,000. So that's also what puts people off because one ticket to this is more than 90% of what a normal person makes in the United States.
Sick.
With that being said, thank you everyone for listening to L7C podcast. Make sure you like, rate, comment, subscribe wherever you listen to. Chelsea will be back for her next pop culture topic, and we'll be waiting for that. You guys take care. Signing out. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.